This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Macklin's in Marbella. We're in San Carlo here in Manchester for a media lunch with Scott Quigg. With me I've got trainer Joe Gallagher, Ring Magazine's Trainer of the Year. How are you, Joe?
Yes, thank you.
Do you want me to refer that to you every time I interview you?
It'd be nice for this year. You're doing no different what they do in America when they introduce a Freddie or a Virgil, so go with the flow. We're not changing the rules, we're just abiding by them.
Don't blame you. Fight took so long to happen. Now we're less than 2 weeks away. How are you feeling ahead of the fight? Not that you're fighting, but how are you and the team feeling?
Yeah, extremely confident. Training's going really well, and really looking forward to them great nights. Obviously, when you've been here, brought up in Manchester, when you went and watched like Mike Tyson and watched Kawasaki Lacer, Ricky Hatton, Tazoo, all them big nights here in Manchester, and you're involved with one of them now. Scott Quigg versus Frampton. It's got to be a great atmosphere. The city's got to be absolutely bursting at the seams, the bars, everything. It's just got to be a great night, great atmosphere, and can't wait, just really can't wait for Scott Quigg to do a fantastic job.
Is there a difference between overlooking an opponent and underestimating an opponent?
Yeah, I think there is. I can't accuse us of overlooking Carl. We've absolutely studied him like there is no tomorrow. We see what he can do, right? So much like they can do as well. But the sound bites they give in the fact that Scott's not an intelligent kid in the ring and outside of the ring, it's laughable, really. Do you know what I mean? We just laugh and chuckle and just think, what? The fight's in Manchester. We're in the home corner. Scott only has to pay one person. You have to pay like 5 people. So who's the intelligent person with a boxing brain? I just contradict themselves. But anyway, as far as fight night, listen, whatever Carl wants to do, we'll have an answer for. And I think the difference for this fight is Carl didn't want the fight. They have to have the fight. They had nowhere else to go. It's not a case that they wanted it. They had nowhere else to go. They had to have it. And that's the big difference. We've always wanted it. And we're glad that it's happening now. And Scott, listen, his training's going really well, and you can see there today. We're not overly confident where the people turn around and say, oh, they're too cocky and everything else. No, we're just quietly confident of the work that we're doing and what we've studied and what we know has got to come off. And there's times I felt like this when Stephen Smith went fighting Buckland, Crawler, John Murray. I just thought Callum Smith-Rocket. I just thought, nah, there's just no way in the world they could beat the kid on the night. We had it nailed down, and that's exactly how I feel of this fight.
When you say you didn't believe that Frampton wanted to fight, are you talking about Cole or the team?
I think the team. I think Carl, like all fighters, they all want to fight, but I do feel Carl himself, most of us thought, I could do with avoiding that, and obviously the team around him, most of us wanted to take him to America, try and gate crash America and bring Al Heyman on board. I'm sure they'd love it to be him fighting Leo Santa Cruz at the moment, not Kiko Martinez or fighting Abner Mares, and instead they're having to fight with Scott Quigg. So yeah, and I think they're not in control of the situation, which something like Scott said in one of the programmes that's just been aired. They're not in control of the situation. They're not in Belfast. Barry isn't the running show. It's not the Barry show. They're coming over here in Manchester. Barry himself, in autobiography, turned around and said he's not really keen on the place. So, and they keep going on about fans and the arena and the noise, and they're looking for that comfort blanket. I don't think they realise they've got to get booed themselves, and I think that'll be a more shock to them. Do you understand? So, listen, Scott Quigg is at Manchester Arena. He's training in the same place he always trained, and it's another day at the office, and we're extremely confident.
What is a defeat to one of these fighters? What does it do for their career?
No one likes to lose. It's not very much like people saying with Ben Watson when they fought early on in their career. Didn't do him no harm, and I think Scott Quigg versus Frampton, the loser, there's no shame in it. You've got 2 undefeated world champions, both putting the record and the titles on the line. For the loser, listen, the man had the balls to put his title on his line, his career on the line, and be involved in a massive British fight that the fans wanted to see. He can never be accused of ducking or not taking on his rival. He can always come back. It just most probably means that it was just not their day at the office. The most could fight 10 times and end up 5 each. So that's just the way it is sometimes. It's just a case of brushing themselves down and coming back again. But there'll be no shame in losing for neither fighter.
How did you think the pair come off in the Gloves Are Off on Sky, which was aired last night?
Yeah, I was down there. I thought Scott handled himself very well, both on the media tour and also on the gloves are off. For regardless of what Carl and the team accuse us of being arrogant, I think the way they are and the way they keep bringing up Scott's IQ and intelligence and eating crayons, that's just showing unbelievable disrespect to a solid professional fighter that goes about doing his work. And if it wasn't for Scott Quigg, they wouldn't be getting the money they'd be getting. They say he's a paper champion like Scott's good. He is the paper champion. He's the one that's bringing the paper to the fight.
Obviously, a week and a bit, say, what was it, just under 2 weeks, shall we say, till the fight. Obviously, Scott seems in very relaxed mood, and obviously you'll be tapering sort of the training side of it down over the next week or so.
Yeah, Scott, we've had a brilliant training camp. We've had fantastic sparring partners in. Training's going really well. He's just got this week to do a few more sparring sessions, and job's done, and it can't come quick enough. It's something really relishing, really looking forward to. I know Scott can't wait to get in the ring, and we sit and we watch and we listen and see. And there's some people out there that are supposed to be educated, supposed to be boxing experts, analysts, pundits. And you just think to yourself, wow, you can't see this fight, you're reason the fight. And listen, it's not their fault. They've all been bitten by the Barry bug, aren't they? Whatever Barry says is gospel. And I think, like I've said before and I said earlier, to someone, a lot of Carl's wins recently, there's been a lot of ballyhoo and fanfare about them. But who has he beat? He's beat really no one. Avalos, Quigg doubled him up in the wild card in the gym. Kiko Martinez, Quigg chinned him in two. A fat Mexican, old over the hill Mexican, Scott beat. So Carl's had a lot of fanfare and publicity beating kids, but who really were they? Scott Quigg, what? Kiko and two. Rendell Monroe just fought off the world title. John saying Moses, but Boxing News says got to be a tough fight. The Atomic Spider. Quigg blew him out in 2 rounds. Had Quigg to win in a close fight and points. Stefan Jamoy blew away, body shot, who then fought. Haskins has gone on and fought since. So I don't think enough credit has been given to Scott Quigg's performances, and there's been a lot given to Carl. But like I say, it's up to us to put the record straight and show everyone all along that Scott Quigg's the real deal.
I know around the press conference times, the 3 back-to-back press conferences, there was sort of the talk and the rumours of the sparring stories. A little bit come out in the gloves are off last night. What did you make of that?
Yeah, listen, Scott's saying how it is. Listen, like Scott mentioned it to Carl, he had an opportunity to tell the story right, but he never did. And never mind the jackal, I think me and Scott have nicknamed him Pinocchio. Like, do you know what I mean? The amount of lies that are coming out there is unbelievable. So, but listen, the other thing is, well, sparring, that's every day. But you either admit to it or you don't admit to it. And he admitted to some things, and fair play to him. But listen, at the end of the day, it's all about the fight, and we know we've got them worried, and they know they're in trouble. Scott Quigg, they just know. Trust me, they know. They're worried.
Do you believe that Scott will stop or knock out Carl?
Yeah, fight won't go distance. Carl Frampton got 12 rounds in him. Scott Quigg will knock Carl Frampton out. First and foremost, he's got to make sure he does the weight, Carl. And by how he's doing the weight will determine whether Carl Frampton... You got to remember when he was beating Kiko Martinez the first time, he was coming down off his legs. He was getting in a tear up. That's against a small... Let's hope he does the weight, right? Because if he doesn't, he won't be going 12 rounds.
All right, well, like I said, less than 2 weeks away, and Manchester Arena will be lit half and half. And it's going to be some night. It's going to sort of...
It's going to be a fantastic night. And I've seen Barry over the weekend. He keeps telling to it's Ireland and this and everything. It's not Ireland v England. Scott Quigg's got huge support in Northern Ireland. He's got huge support in Southern Ireland. Carl Frampton's got huge support in England. It's a fight for a boxing fan, regardless of where you come from. Do you understand? It's going to be in that arena. There's got to be half shouting for Scott Quigg. There's got to be half shouting for Carl Frampton. But it's got to be a fantastic night. Everyone's got to come. They've got to enjoy a great weekend in Manchester. They've got to attend a great fight. It's an event. Everyone's got to go home afterwards. They're going to enjoy the football on the Sunday if they're still here for that, for United Arsenal. And it's just got to be a fantastic weekend. And in years to come, people have got to look back and go, how was that event? And that's where it's going to be. And just come over, enjoy, and just soak it all up and be privileged to be part of that. And fair play, I do have to say, to both Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton for both found and they're fighting each other. There's a lot of rivalries over the year that didn't take part in British boxing. Ricky Hatton, Junior Witter for one. I think Martin Murray, Matthew Macklin never happened for one. But I said these two kids, the rivalry's there and they're putting it on the line and paying credit to them and they're giving British boxing what they want.
All right, Joe, listen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you next week ahead of the build-up, so best of luck for the next few days.
Yeah. Cheers, KUGAN.
No problem.